we've got a couple of our top drivers here with us today. First is our points leader, currently in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and that is Johnny Sauter. He drives the number 98 Nextant Curb Records Toyota, and joining him at the podium is Ty Dillon. Ty won last year's NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race here at Kentucky Speedway. He'll also be competing in the NASCAR Nationwide Series race here Friday night. He'll be driving the number 3 Red Cap Alsco Chevrolet. So, Johnny, I'll start with you. Coming into Kentucky Speedway, certainly a track that's got a lot of character. We've heard that already. But you're the points leader, and what are you looking for coming out of this weekend? Obviously, you want to win the thing, but what's your mindset coming into Kentucky?
Yeah, I mean, Kentucky's been a place that's been bittersweet for myself, I guess, to say the least. We've been in position to win this race a couple different times. One year we ended up finishing second. The other year we were leading on a green flag pit stop with 20 laps to go and ended up breaking an axle leaving pit road. So, and then I've been here before where we didn't really have a good truck and blew an engine or whatever. So it's just, like you said it best when you said that the Speedway has a lot of character. Really, really rough every year. When we come back, it seems to get progressively worse or a little bit more challenging, I guess, to say the least. So, but I also think it enables guys to be able to have the option to move around the racetrack a little bit. Maybe try to find something that works for their truck. I noticed a lot of guys are running in the second groove down in 3 and 4 and just all over the place. So I guess to answer the question, I'm just looking for whatever we can get. This has been a racetrack we've had success. It's been a racetrack where we've not had success. So we just need to keep the points in the back of our mind. I think it's still pretty early in the season to sit here and say that we're points racing. I think we're only 7 races in. So long way to go, but we still need to be able to put a string of finishes together and be competitive. So if we can do that tomorrow, that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely. And Ty, coming to a place, you were in Victory Lane here last year. I recall it was quite a burnout that you put out there for the fans, and certainly how can you take that win? Obviously winning breeds more winning, but how can you take that win now to the next step as you're in the NASCAR Nationwide Series for you here on Friday, and then maybe also talk about how the test went for you today?
Yeah, hopefully it just breeds into another win here. Just take the confidence that I had, that I knew I was able to beat Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski and all the guys in the truck series that day, and it just kind of helped me unloading here today, knowing that I have the confidence. I know I can get around this place and get in victory lane against the best guys in the sport. So our Alsco Chevy is actually really fast. We hit on something here in the second half of the last practice, and I feel like we have an opportunity to run up front and really actually compete for a win for the first time this year, I feel like. And I think everything for RCR's nationwide program is starting to head in the right direction, as you can tell, with win the last 2 weeks in a row. And I think Kentucky Speedway is going to be another great track for us.
Questions out there for either Johnny or Ty? If you have one, raise your hand. Any questions? Right over here, Adam.
Ty, this being your first full-time season in the Nationwide Series, how tough has it been to adapt to the cars? You've run them in the past, but this being your first full-time season, how tough has it been to adapt to the stock car as opposed to the truck?
It's been tough. It's just been a lot of change. I ran quite a few races while I was in the truck series and in the Nationwide Series, but I went through 3 different crew chiefs, and then to start off this year, I had a brand new crew chief and a brand new team. So just haven't had a whole lot of familiarity, and now that we're kind of getting a couple races into this season, I think me and Stockman are really starting to hit and finding things that are making our race cars better week in and week out, and we're starting to progress in the right direction. We've been fairly consistent. Last week wasn't a good week for us. We burned up a transmission. But I feel like from here on out, hopefully we can start making some gains and getting some points. And the main thing for me, I just want to win races. That's all I care about. The points will come, and I think we're heading in the right direction to start doing that.
Go ahead, right over here.
Hey, Ty, Jeremy Ralph, Fox 19. How special would it be for the 3-car to win? And I'm sure you've been asked this a few times this season, Nationwide and Sprint Cup this weekend.
I think it'd just be awesome for me and Austin to win on the same weekend. I think we'll be just as happy. I mean, having a three is a bonus, especially for the fans. But for us, it's more about me and him getting in victory lane would be a very special moment. It's been a great track for him. It's been a good track for me, and hopefully all the signs will point to maybe us getting in victory lane together. But hopefully we have a lot longer career and we'll have an opportunity to do that one day.
Johnny, you mentioned that this racetrack has been good to you, and it's also bit you in the butt. How do you handle a place like that? Because you know that you can swing for the fences, and yet sometimes you come up short. So how do you approach a racetrack that maybe makes you a little uncomfortable?
That's a good question, actually. I think you just have to keep everything in perspective. We've had a pretty consistent year. We led a lot of laps at Martinsville and felt like we were in position to win that race. But, you put a big emphasis on winning races, and Kentucky is a place where if you get the setup just right, I think you can win. And I'll be completely honest with you, this is one of those places where if the setup's off just a little bit, it can be a long, grueling night for you. So, I think I've been doing this long enough that I can manage those expectations. I don't think that I'm going to come in here tomorrow and dominate, and I don't think I'm going to come in here and run 20th. So it's just you got to work hard, be smart about the adjustments that you make. This is a challenging place because we practice in the daytime and you race at night. So just managing those expectations. You just have to have a level head and know that setups are going to change and things are evolving. And, there's just so many things in racing. Everybody says all the time, you show up at the racetrack with a setup and you were successful with it a year ago. You show up with it this year and you're not going to be fast. So things are constantly evolving, and you just have to give the best feedback you can, and whatever the night brings you, it brings you.
And tomorrow night you're going to have, when you face this field, I mean, you're talking about not only the folks that you see every weekend, but there's a few of these other cats are going to be in there, like Kyle Busch, and I believe Austin's racing, Brad Keselowski, among others. So you're going to have to be on your very best to get to victory lane, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've beat Kyle Busch before. We've beat him at Martinsville. We beat him at Daytona. We beat him at Texas. So it's, I get this question a lot about the Cup guys coming down. Does it bother you? Does it not bother you? It doesn't bother me in the least. I know that, Thor Sports obviously a great organization, and when we unload, a lot of times we're one of the fastest trucks. So, Brad coming down, Kyle, he's had a great year this year, obviously. But they're not unbeatable. I mean, those guys are great race car drivers, and they're racing in the Sprint Cup Series for a reason, but that doesn't mean we can't beat them. And I don't ever feel when I walk out to driver introductions that I'm beat just because those guys are in the race. It doesn't bother me in the least.
Good deal.